Hi. Hello, hi everybody. How are you all doing? Hi, hello, hi. Hi. How are you all doing? Let me see who is here. Please do the lab safety register check-in so that I know that you are here. Let's see. Hello, Savatar. Hello, Flatulence Incarnate. Hello, That Red Panda. Hello, Comey Belladonna. Hello, Jeb Kerman. Hello, Osguba. Hello. Hi, Astral. Hi, Anatzo. Hi. Right, as the shift ended. Let's go. Good timing. Last time you started late and now early. I'm not starting early. I'm starting dead on time for once. I'm dead on time. Can you believe it? Wait, I'm not happy with one second. Wait, let me. Wait. No, wait. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I was not happy with the way that my face tracking was looking just then. I'm being perfectionist. Hello, Yoavco. Hi, Yoavco. Let's see. Happy Mother's Day to Sai's model parent. Yes! Happy Parent Day to Mylin. Thank you, Mylin, for being a wonderful parent. Hi, Kami. Hi. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Bobo. Hi, Dragonator. Hello. Hi, Crystallic. Greg's fallacy. Assume there's going to be no queue. Last time I went to Greg's, there was a queue. I can confirm this, actually. There was a queue. Hello, Ice Cream. Hi. Hello. Yes, happy Mother's Day to those who celebrate. Yes. Hi, That Red Panda. Thank you so much for the 5 stream streak. What the heck? Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, Spooky One. Again, I think I've already said hello to you, but hello again, you get to. Hi, Joe Victor. Hi. Hi, Zerkia. Hi, Flokia. Hi. Let's see. I forgot it was Mother's Day, to be honest. I forgot. Congrats on hitting partner. Thank you so much. I'm in hospital. Oh, I hope you're okay, Zerkia. I hope you're okay. Hi, Zed Victor. Hi. I went outside for the first time in a week and a half yesterday to play Warhammer. Did I overestimate how being sick takes it out of you? I got home and slept for 13 hours straight. Yeah, that's wild. I think last time I was that sick, I had like a flu or something. And yeah, it like knocked me out for a week. It was the same. It was really bad. Not fun. I hope you are recovering though. I hope you're recovering. Hi Cogs, right? Hi Dog Breath One. Hi Warrior Gamings. Hello. Hello Sparks Maker. Hello. On time is early. This is true, to be fair. This is true. I'm a little surprised given how late you streamed last night. I know, right? I'm gonna be so real with you, like, because I need at least an hour to decompress after finishing a stream. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I did finish the stream, eat some food. I think I ended up I went to bed at like 5 a.m. or something. Like, it was, pretty bad. And then I woke up at 12. I don't know how many hours of sleep that is. 7. It got exactly 7 hours of sleep. I woke up at 12. I ate some food. I did a bit of housework. And then I started streaming again. Yeah. I will leave the house after the stream. Might be a little bit of a shorter stream today, potentially. Because I do want to go out and see sunlight, in fact. Thank you for the 15 stream streak, Flogia. Thank you. So you're telling me that you were late so often that the normal time is relatively early? Yes. I'm now so late so often that everyone expects me to start 15 minutes late. And so when I start on time, now everyone's like, Confucian. Hi, Jess Jane. Hello. Congrats. I'm so proud you're amazing. No, you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Zekiros. Hi, Dark Lord Noir. Hello. Hello, good morning and happy Ides of March, Dr. Psydere. When you're not polishing test tubes or macking out on bananas, have you tried or enjoyed any of the world's greatest Beaglesaurus novels recently? You know what? I did actually specifically open up the AO3 page for the Beaglesaurus novels. I feel like I'm slowly inching towards it, you know? Like, I found the author. We're inching towards it. Your campaign is working. Wants to see her son for Mother's Day. Yeah, my son. Look at him. He's here. My son. Yeah, I forgot it was Mother's Day. They say that VTubers have, to be a VTuber, you need to either have mommy issues, daddy issues, or tummy issues. Some variation of the above. And given that I forgot that it was Mother's Day, you can forget which one I have. So, hi Mark Penn, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so here's the plan for today. I'm not thinking actually. I haven't really thought very much yet, to be honest. I had like a single cup of tea. Basically, okay, this is a more specific breakdown of my day, right? I woke up, I drank a cup of tea. I was then hungry, but I couldn't be bothered to make actual food. I'm going to be so honest. I had instant noodles for breakfast. Then I answered a bunch of messages, and then I did some housework. I vacuumed. Very exciting. My life is so exciting. I vacuumed and I dusted. And then I made more tea and I stared out of the window for about 15 minutes contemplating my life decisions while I drank my tea. And then I set up for stream. And that's been my entire like 3 hours of being awake. And now I'm here. I hope that I seem somewhat functional today because I don't know if I feel it. I have no idea how I'm coming across this morning. It's 3 p.m. This morning, 3 p.m. I'm so cooked. I'm not cooked. I'm like lightly flambéed, you know. I'm mostly fine, but just a little bit. Hi Shinsta. Hi. Hello. 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 Welcome in. I win at streamer bingo. I think you do that, Red Panda. I think you win the streamer bingo. You have a daddy issue, albeit the issue is simply that he forced you to get a sofa. It's so true, actually. It's so true. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much, Shinsta. Thank you so much. And hi, Arknavist. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the live stream check-in. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I did homemade snack wraps with high fiber tortillas and pre-made fried chicken. That sounds healthier than my noodles. So, you know, you're doing better than me. Hi, K00. Hi. Next stream, you're wild. I can't help it. I'm too powerful. You know, that check mark has made me professional streamer TM, and now I can't be stopped. I will just constantly be here. You won't get rid of me. I saw something very, very nice a little while back. I mean, maybe it was like a week ago. I don't know. Time is a construct of human perception. It is, in fact, an illusion. Anyway, there was a guy that like did a react to one of my clips. I think it might have been one of the ones from when I was chatted with Ellie. And he was like, "Yeah, Psydere. I've caught a couple of streams. She's nice. Doesn't stream very much though. Wish she streamed more often." I was like, "That's fair." Sometimes I do just wake up and I'm like, I don't want to stream this week. I just look at the deadlines that I have at work and I'm like, nah, not happening. I'm sorry, I have to write a paper. I can't stream and write a paper. The two, it's like mutually exclusive. It's one or the other. And unfortunately, I'm always going to have to prioritize the paper. No offense, everybody. Fish everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Fish everywhere. It's 8:15. There's fish on my plate. The VTuber definition of morning. It's true. I can't deny it. I mean, if it's... Okay, hear me out, right? If the average time that people wake up is like 7 a.m., right? And then it's morning until noon. What is that? I can't do maths. 3 hours? No. 5 hours? Even? It's 5 hours. I can do maths. And that means that therefore it's morning for the first 5 hours after I wake up. So actually it's still morning. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's really weird though. I normally have a pretty good body clock. Well, I guess I just stayed up so late that it just wasn't like, it was never going to happen. But I normally have a pretty good body clock. My body clock normally wakes me up dead on 8:30 every single day, whether I want to or not. So yeah. Which might sound kind of late, but I start work at 10, so it's actually quite good. Yeah, and I also work from home. I don't have a commute, so it's quite good. Streamer uses copium. Stop bullying me. K00, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. What did I give consent for? You're part of the research participation pool now. You're gonna take part in some research. You read the terms and conditions, right? You read them, right? Body tiredness overrode the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Exactly. Sometimes the suprachiasmatic nucleus is just not very chiasmic. I don't actually know what the constituents of that means. I never really paid attention to what the different parts of the brain mean. As in like the names. I should do that. Wait, no, wait. Concept. Hear me out. Concept. Shorts where it's like explaining the names of the parts of the brain in the style of Chubby Emu. So, you know, instead of being like hyper meaning high, lipid meaning fat containing fat, and emia meaning presence in blood, instead it could be like parts of the brain. Oh, wait, I've got a concept brewing. That would work. I know it would. I don't think there's anything that would be like funny though, like the emia thing that Chubby Emu has. It would also be a very blatant ripoff, but I feel like it's okay if it's a parody, you know? Parodying is fair use. Hi J5, hello, thank you for the lab safety Richard check-in, welcome in. And hi Eric, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're good. Congratulations, thank you so much. Thank you. You say that, but it would help me right now as I'm doing neuroscience in my module. Oh, I'm gonna be so real with you. I hated my neuro modules. I don't hate neuro. Neuropsychology. That. I hated my neuropsych modules, which was ridiculous because I worked in a neuropsych department for a year and I learned everything like practically. And then I went back to uni because it was like during my placement year. And then I went back to uni and I was like, okay, I know these things, TM. But then the way that they taught it in university was then like different to the way that it was practiced. And I really struggled with it. And also they like focused on the things that the lecturers were like interested in, which is fair enough. Like I can't judge. I did this too when I was like pulling together some intro psych like lectures that I did. Part of it was what I'm interested in and part of it was like what I thought they needed to know. So, you know, there was a big chunk of it was, you know, like introduction to personality and like basic social psychology, intergroup relations, etc. But then I like specifically focused on the things within those things that I found interesting. And naturally I was like, a little bit about conspiracy theories, teehee. So I can't judge. But yeah, it was just like a lot of things about like how brain damage affected reading and language skills, and that wasn't really what I was interested in, and it was a real struggle. That module was a struggle. I did not care. Like it's not that I didn't care. I care in the sense of like it's horrible the way it impacts people's lives, but it just wasn't interesting to me. It didn't tickle my neurons in the way that I hoped it had. So yeah. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's just the stats. Yeah, that's fair. Different people like different things. I really enjoy like basically I quite enjoy ambiguousness. So I like social science-y psychology more than I like biological science-y psychology. I like there being a little bit of room to like think through different possibilities. That makes me happy. Hi Nuclear Saltwater, hello, thank you for the lab safety racer check-in. And hello Transflag as well, hello, welcome in. I hate Neuro, Psy 2026 flips on the toes chart. No, I would never, I love Neuro. I love her. My beloved. I forgot that there is one, and of course it was the brain that sang it. Oh, the Animaniacs. Oh, yeah. The song about the brain. I'd like read the first one, didn't read it out, read the second one, knew they were connected, and then just like didn't process it. This is why you shouldn't stream within 3 hours of waking up. Did your uni pull out Phineas Gage? My uni's like, look at this guy, railway spike to the brain, how wild. I have learned about Phineas Gage, I want to say 4 times over the course of my career. Like 4 separate years of education. the guy. He follows me. Funny clip is Louis Theroux saying, did you support Arsenal before the brain injury? Louis Theroux is so funny. I love him so much. I've actually just been listening to the podcast. He did like a podcast with Ramesh Ranganathan, and I've been listening to that, and it's like so funny. It's so funny. I'm a big Louis Theroux enjoyer.
Flatulence Incarnate gifted a tier 1 sub to Phineas Gage. They have given 31 gift subs in the channel.
He's still following me! No! Go away, Phineas Gage. I'm not ready for this anymore. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Phineas Gage. Flatulence Incarnate. You know, the thing is, the thing that always cracked me up about Phineas Gage is that it sounds like I feel like you could make some kind of Nicolas Cage pun. Like, there must be some way to do that. There must be some way. I've never worked out, like, how to do it. Like, I can see, did you know that thing where you can see the premise and you just don't know the execution? It's that. Oh, dear. Language thing, after my sister's TIA, transient ischemic attack. Yes. She woke up with a British accent that speech therapy had to work through. She lost the original accent and picked up a London one. That's wild. I wonder what accent I would have. It's kind of scary, actually. That's actually really scary. That makes me nervous. To be honest, one of the reasons I didn't like working in neuropsych was because I kept meeting people that had things like that happen to them, and it would make me really, it kind of freaked me out a bit, to be honest. Because, like, my brain, you know, it's not good for much, you know? I don't have much going for me. One of the only things that I do have going for me is that I can use my brain. So if something happens to my brain, then what? Then what? Uh-oh. Sweats nervously. So yeah, it makes me nervous actually thinking about it, which is why I didn't stick in it as a career. I hope your sister's okay now, by the way. My uni has a wall that they cut out from somewhere, and there's shadow burned in from radiation spike or something. It's the print of a person. That is terrifying. I have a real. Why do we keep coming back to radiation? I have like a fear of like radiation bursts. Ooh. Hi, Intricist. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I need to watch the documentary on the Manosphere. Me too. Everyone was telling me to watch it. Because, never mind. Hi, Impressive Tomato. Hello. Welcome in. Sounds like Phineas Gage is the equivalent to engineers in the Ford Pinto. I think genuinely he might be. He just keeps coming back. It's like him and HM. HM was a guy that had like a memory problem. It's like those two guys, they just keep coming back. You can't avoid them. Hi, Racco. Hi, welcome in. Thank you so much. Thank you. It finally happened. I'm happy, and I'm also very tired. Now you next. We need to get you there too. Hi, Badger. Welcome in. Welcome. Phineas was a nice guy, hard worker, took a railway spike to the brain, and now he wants to steal the Declaration of Independence. Exactly. He became a real fella. Although I've heard that potentially the reports might have been kind of like exaggerated a little bit. Once again, we are hit by the replication crisis. If Luthor was a superhero, which you could argue he is, his superpower would be making people hang themselves with their own rope. Metaphorically, of course. He wouldn't need to capture criminals. He'd just give them a cup of tea and chat with them until they confess and hand themselves in. It's so true. I love the way that he just like he like really uses like the power of silence. And I've used this too. Actually, it was like inspired by him because I watched a lot of his documentaries like when I was in high school and like through uni. Because he like basically his documentaries are a lot on like weird things, right? They're on weird fringe things. And I would say that my main interest as a psychologist is weird fringe things. Like, also as a person, I'm gonna be so honest. I can't pretend otherwise. Like, I like things that are a bit weird. So, yeah, all of the documentaries about like really extreme politics or about like people that have committed really serious crimes and stuff, like that's the kind of thing that I enjoy watching because I like seeing who they are rather than like what like the narratives that society tells us about them. So yeah, but I learned a lot from those actually, and the way that he basically uses silence as a weapon. Because basically, a lot of people feel really, really awkward if you just don't say anything back to them. Like if they're talking and then you just don't say anything, like you just don't continue the conversation, then they feel really awkward. Apparently, this is how the neurotypicals feel. I can't relate. I would happily just sit there in silence. But neurotypicals apparently generally feel quite awkward if you don't continue the conversation. And I use this to my advantage quite a lot when I used to volunteer for like a suicide hotline. And yeah, I used like people would say, so people would call up this hotline not for the purpose it was intended for. Basically, like I had to deal with a lot of inappropriate phone calls. If you catch my drift, especially as I was a young woman. Like because most of the other people were volunteering there were like older, you know, they were like retired. I was like one of the only people that was under the age of 40. Yeah, so basically I used to have this thing happen quite a lot where someone would call up and start being incredibly inappropriate, and then I would just not respond. Like I would just let them keep going because I'm like, how can I phrase this? Like I'm pretty hard to offend. I just normally find things really funny. So I would be like sitting there with like the mouth set away from me so they couldn't hear me laughing. So I would just leave it silent. I'd like mute myself. I'd just go silent. And the other thing that's really, really powerful, like eventually some of them would become self-aware because of the silence, and then they'd like get really awkward and then they'd hang up. Some of them wouldn't though. And then I would basically ask a follow-up question that would basically be along the lines of like, so I understand what you're doing here. You're clearly doing this because there's something bothering you. Like, I don't know if this is a way to distract yourself or if it's a way to gain something, but clearly you have something that you need to talk about. And if you're willing to stop doing that, I will listen. And it would work. It'd be like, or like, I just, sometimes if they were like really aggressive about it, then I'd just be like, why are you doing this? Like, what do you, tell me why. And it would work. Like, it stopped it 9 out of 10 times. So yeah, they'd be like, you're no fun, and put the phone down. No, they would start telling me. That's the thing. They would start telling me. Like, I remember there was this one guy that was like, you know, he went in, I don't even know how to phrase this. Like, he went in, like, he went straight in, you know, he came out swinging on that phone call, if you catch my drift. And yeah, I was just like, why? Why are you doing this? What do you gain? You know that people call up this place because they feel suicidal. Like, you're stopping someone else from having access to that. So clearly you need this, right? You're doing this because you have a deep need for it. Tell me why. I will listen. And we ended up talking for like 45 minutes, and he had like, he was just really, really lonely, basically. So yeah. And it turns out he actually, you know, he did feel that way. Like he was having really bad, like intrusive thoughts, but he just didn't know how to start the conversation. So yeah. Yeah. You just described de-escalation policies. It's literally the first step is to derail their mindset and get them to humanize others. I didn't know that. I've never been taught any kind of de-escalation. I just was weaponizing my autism, frankly. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a story. If I could meet any celebrity, it would be Louis Theroux, like Oshie, Cami Oshie, perhaps even, maybe even a step above Tom Scott. You know? Yeah. Hello Umadin. Sorry, I'm like really behind on chat because I've been yapping. Hi Umadin. Hi Woodsticks. Hello, hello. Let's see. I scroll. Hi, Ulamini. Hi, Catherine. Hello, hello. Hello. In Marvel Comics, there's a psych therapist that specializes in superpowered psych issues. He got his power from a gamma ray burst like the Hulk, and he went back to research and therapy after gaining powers. That's me. I would do that. I would do that. Hi, Casketeer. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. And Anna, hello. Welcome in. You're a weird fringe thing, but it's a good thing. Thanks. Thanks. Hi, Vantura. Hello. The people he interviewed in the Manosphere are now butthurt and they're like, it was a hit piece. My beater's in Chud. You know who he was and you did it to yourself. Okay, apparently, so Louis said in this podcast that he did with Ramesh that like, basically the podcast, the documentary starts off with Sneeko like Googling Louis Theroux and being like, oh God, this guy's done loads of documentaries. And I find that so funny. Like, how can you like have any, like, he's gone viral so many times. Like, even if you don't know much about like British culture, surely you would at least recognize him from the memes if you're terminally online. That's kind of wacky. I don't know. I need to watch it. I went out with some friends on Friday and they were all telling me that I need to watch it. And I know I need to watch it for reasons. But yeah. You have one of the wildest laws I've heard know of. Thank you. It's not that wild. I mean, maybe a little bit. I noticed that responding to with silence IRL becoming way more common with younger generations after the era of Zoom call social lives. That's true. The Zoomer stare. I do that. I did the Zoomer stare before Zoomers did it. Except I can't make eye contact very well, so I just stare off into space instead. They just like fixate on a location on the wall. Oh God. Hi, I'm Dragon. Hello. Let's see. Enjoy your lurk, Saboteur. Enjoy your lurk. And hi, Lane. Hello. I feel like the best way to respond is to someone trying to get a reaction is to just not respond. Yeah, I do that all the time. Where I live, there's a lot of children in a lot of young boys that lurk around in their tracksuits being problematic. And you know, normally they misjudge how old I am. That's normally the issue, is that they look at me and they think that I'm significantly younger than I am. And therefore they think that I'm an easy target, and it's always a mistake. Yeah. Yeah. And I just don't respond to them, and then they get freaked out because I'm not responding, and they're like, they do this thing where they like follow you and they're like, hey you lady, hey you, hey, and they just keep following you along like a yappy little dog, and eventually they're just like, oh fine, be that way. It's very funny. I like it. I like being too powerful for them to interact with. Unironically, utilizing silence is one of the biggest techniques that we social workers use to get clients to talk about problems, especially ones they don't recognize they have. That makes sense, because yeah, people just naturally, unless they're me, they want to naturally feel the silence. So yeah. Hi CDM, hi, hello. Hi, not a professor, hi. Congrats on getting partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. And also Random Logic, hello. Welcome in. I hope you're good. Hi Hunter. Hi Fortress Spy. Hello. Speaking of comics, there's a musician who got diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he made a comic about a guy who has superpowers, but his schizophrenia med suppresses them. So he has to make the choice between powers of being medicated, and he doesn't know if his powers are even real or not. Oh, I found it a bit problematic, but it was an interesting premise. I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if it can... I'm thinking out loud when I say this. I don't know if it would be problematic given that it comes from somebody who has that lived experience, you know? Like, I know for a fact that there's certain things where, like, when I talk about it with other autistic people, they get it. But then sometimes I talk about it with, like, a neurotypical person and they're like, oh, that's a bit problematic. And it's like, yeah, but it's my experience of being autistic, you know? So I feel like my gut instinct is that it's fine because it's reflecting their own experiences. I don't know. Hi, Baron and Bio. Hello, hello. I found that if I stare at someone's nose, it's less awkward than eye contact. I can't even do that. Like, faces in general. I don't know what it is. Like, faces in general. It feels like there's just too much going on, you know? Like, there's a lot of things happening on people's face. Like, it's very, wow, the face is expressive. Wild concept. There's a lot of, like, you know, little, like, changes in the face all the time. It just, like, if I'm looking at someone's face while they're talking, I can't hear what they're saying. It's like one or the other. So then I've, like, just don't. And then also eye contact feels really weirdly intimate, you know? Like, I don't know. Ugh. It makes me feel weird. And congrats again for the purple tick. Thank you so much, Butcher Spy. Thank you. What's the topic today? We are going to do Q&As when I find my form, which I should get the link to, actually. I should get the link to that. Q&A. There we go. Where's my spreadsheet? Responses. Viewing spreadsheets. There we go. Link. Responder link. Shorten. I don't want the long one. Here you go. Right, just because you submit a question doesn't mean that we're going to get to it today. There are 98 rows on the spreadsheet. And although we have done a large number of them, I can't promise that I will do them in order, because sometimes I just look at a question and I'm like, that's the one I'm doing today. And other times I look at it, the same question, and I'm like, I cannot process even what this means today. It's just not working. Hi to Knifefish, Salsa Left, and Jade Low. Hello, hello. Hi, Kasim. Hi, Swaglord, and hi, Kami. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. My most useful skill in work is ignoring things. I can imagine so. Yeah. And hi, Moinazva. Hello, hello. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, CDM, also Salsa Lab, thank you. And J5 as well, thank you. Just noticed you got partner. Yeah, I got partner! I should probably, like, I just kind of streamed yesterday and started streaming today as normal. And I just kind of forgot. Yeah, I'm a partner now. I'm a Twitch partner. Yay! We got Twitch partner. Yeah. Yippee! I don't know what to say. I'm not prepared. I didn't practice my acceptance speech. Thank you everybody for supporting the stream. Every single person that's like lurked, raided, told their friends and family and mutuals and shared on social media and everything and been in chat and all of it. It's all been so helpful. Yeah, we got there. And I am so happy. I cannot like emphasize enough how happy I am, because I don't, like I've said before and I've said it again. I will always keep saying it. I don't want to be a streamer as a job, right? So for that reason, some of you may be like, well, why would you want a partner? And the answer is because it means that we can do so much more in terms of like collaborations, but especially with universities. So if I want to reach out to like a scientist now and say like, hey, do you want to like talk about your research on stream? It's going to be that little bit easier, because before it would have relied on me leveraging my personal and professional connections. And that's fine. I didn't have a problem with that. I was happy to do that, but it may like, academic networks are very dense and small. Like, they're quite big, but they're also small, if that makes sense. So it would be very, very easy to trace me based on who I brought on stream. That made me nervous. Now I will have a bit more like cold emailing people about things. So that's exciting. It also means that we can get, you know, like brand deals and stuff, which is also very exciting, a bit more easily. And all of that is important because I eventually want to be able to be earning enough money from stream that we can actually do research with it. So right now, I'm not very cagey about things. You know, I've always been pretty open. I earn enough from like Twitch and Ko-fi to pay for my 2 contractors, and that's pretty much it. Everything else I do is out of pocket. I would like to get to a point eventually where we can start paying like IRB and participant fees, and we can actually do projects on stream, like as a community. That would be incredibly cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. Are you going to request the Greg sponsorship now? Yes. That is on my list of things to do. I have so many emails I need to send. I'm really behind on all of my messages and emails, to be honest. Like, I'm really bad. I'm really bad. One of Titan's main jobs is just messaging me like twice a week and being like, have you replied to your emails yet? And then I'm like, no. And then I'm like, Titan, it's so annoying when you keep you keep messaging me being like, have you replied to your emails yet? It's really annoying. Why do you keep doing that? It's not like I'm paying you to do that or anything. It's really incredibly annoying. And then I'm annoyed, so I go and do it. And it works. I promise I do not abuse my manager. I treat him very well, I'll have you know. If it works, exactly. I need the social pressure. The thing is that like, if I don't have social pressure, I just don't do stuff. Like, I will just sit here in my bubble and do the things that I'm like motivated to do. And I will miss off all of the important things, you know? Like, I will sit here, I will do my streams, I will read stuff for streams, and then that'll be it. Like, I won't do anything else. Like, I will just forget everything. So that's why Titan exists, is so that I have social, I pay him to be my social pressure to do my stream stuff, because otherwise I won't do it. Yeah. Hi Kami, hi Moony Goose, and hello Mental Mentat. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the Lab Safety Roaster check-ins. Partner also, I know, I'm so excited, thank you. Titan deserves more tea. I'm gonna buy him so much tea next time I see him. I will actually buy him so much tea. How dare my manager demand that I work? I know. Incredibly offensive, actually. But yeah, I need to... there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to do. Hi, Gora Inge. Thank you for the Lab Safety Roaster check-in. Welcome in. There's a bunch of other stuff that I want to do. I want to, like I said, I want to start doing some research projects. I think that would be really cool to do some like community projects on stream, or as much of it on stream as we can do, you know, like designing the study, and then I'll go away and write up the research protocol, and then you can all like review it, and then we do the research and we analyze the data on stream together, and then eventually maybe it also gets written up. I don't know if it would ever be like publishable, but it would be cool if it could be. That would be really cool. Yeah. Brit's preferred payment method is tea. Yeah, tea and Greg's. I'll buy him some tea and I'll buy him a Greg's sausage roll. I would be like, 1 vegan sausage roll for you, sir. Oh dear. It's true. It's true. Why do something if not pressured? Exactly. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't end up happening. Like, I can't, I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. Vegan sausage roll? Yeah. We love a good vegan sausage roll in this house. Let's see. Let me catch up on chat real quick. But yeah, if you want to add a question into the form, feel free to. Can I obfuscate my email address from the doc? You can just do it anonymously, I think. Does it record your email address? Let me check. it does not record your email address, and the username section is optional. So you can just put a thing in and yeah. Yeah. Some people have put in some really unhinged things that I'm not answering. If you put in something unhinged and trolly, I just won't read it. There you go. Tactical ignoring again. Likewise, if you put in something really, really, really long, I probably won't either. Yeah. Hi Java Clover, hi Mylin, and hi Alpha Hexagon. Hello, hello. Mylin. Mylin. There you go. Model parent. Go check out their channel. Because it is Mother's Day, and as my model mama and papa simultaneously, that means I therefore have to acknowledge you. For a second, I thought I did something wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot it was Mother's Day. I did too until the stream, and then someone told me. I also did not realize. Is it Mother's Day? I don't know. Apparently, I woke up today. It's part of my scrolling. I saw some stuff. I don't know. I saw loads of people putting stuff on Instagram being like Happy Mother's Day. I don't know. It might be one of those things where it's a different time for different places in the world. I don't know. I am motherless, so I don't really pay attention, to be honest. Apparently it's definitely Mother's Day in the UK, but apparently elsewhere it's in May. Apparently. Allegedly. I don't know. Don't ask me. Yes, the 4th Sunday in Lent across the UK and Ireland, and also Nigeria. There you go. So it's just Ireland and UK. Yeah. We're preparing for Easter right now here. I don't like that. That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous because that gives me an indication of how fast the progression of time is going, and I don't like it. Sweats nervously. Also, hi, vtuber talk. Hello, hello. Welcome in. In the UK, is someone outside of the UK? I had a heart attack when I read a post about it. I see. Yeah. No, I get that. That's fair enough. Hi, Ty. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're good. Also, hi, Lace. Time to phone mum. Yep. If you're in the UK or Ireland, this is your reminder to ring your mum if you have one. And if not, come and hang out with me, because I also won't be ringing my mum. Hi, Colossal. Welcome in. Welcome in. Nigeria would be like, sure, whatever, we do that too. I mean, to be fair, the UK probably enforced that date upon them in some way. So, yeah. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's so weird, you know? We're working towards it for such a long time. And now it's like, it's happened. And it was very exciting. I might have cried a little bit when I got the email, but admittedly I had also had 4 margaritas and a Guinness. So I don't know if I would have cried under other circumstances. I think I probably would have, to be fair. It wasn't a big cry, it was just a little cry. Yeah. It was very funny though, because I was at a bar with some friends, and then they all left. And then I just was like finishing my drink before I left. And then I like I like looked at my phone for the first time in 4 hours, and then I was like, what? So that was fun. And then I shed a single tear because I am British and therefore I must remain stoic even when emotional. Oh dear. Finishing everyone else's drink for the sounds of it. Comment. It might have been one that was left behind by one of my friends. Oh dear. Stiff upper lip, pip pip, exactly. Exactly. Must remain stoic and stiff upper lip and unflappable, keep calm, carry on, etc., etc. Oh dear. The breakfast of champions. On the other hand, Brazil celebrates Valentine's Day, which is actually just Romantic Partners Day in June to avoid conflicting with Carnival. Smart! That's smart, actually, though. That's very smart. I should point out that it was my mum that reminded me that it was Mother's Day when I phoned her earlier about something unrelated. My brother also forgot and he still lives with her. Oh no! Oh no! Sorry, Mum. Sorry. Okay, like let's see what the questions. Let's have a look. Oh, some of these are fun questions. Right. Okay. This one. I'm reading. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So there's a question here that's tingling my brain, but I don't know the answer to it. So I think it would be fun to look this up live. Okay. So. Why is this not pasting? There we go. Who posted? No. Okay. This is a fun question. This is the question. Can animals like dogs and cats have neurodivergence like ADHD and or autism? That was asked by Narf. That's a good question. I don't know. My gut instinct. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my gut instinct and then we're going to fact check it. I think this is a good way to do this, okay? So, my gut instinct is yes. Because it is a basically so I can only really talk for autism. I don't actually know that much about ADHD.
Congrats on the partnership.
Celedory, hi! Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you. What the heck? For 8 months, let's go. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah! We got the partner. Yippee! But yes, so neurodivergence. So I don't know that much about ADHD. I've done a little bit of work around ADHD as an adult, but not really not really like in depth. Whereas autism I know much more about for obvious reasons. I have been much more interested in it. Song goes hard. I need to set up that thing so that it tells you what song it is. That's like on my to-do list. I put it on my to-do list and I just didn't do it. Oh dear. Yes. What was I saying? But yeah, so basically autism is like a difference in a bunch of stuff. But like repetitive interests and behaviors, social interaction differences, information processing, etc., etc. It's interesting because it affects lots of pathways in the brain. Now, my gut feeling is that both dogs and cats are social animals, so therefore, I imagine they probably can. In fact, I would hazard a guess that probably, maybe not. It's not going to present in the same way as like autism in humans, but I would imagine that some kind of like differences in those social pathways probably exist in most social mammals. Yeah. So that would be my gut instinct. Yeah. But I don't know. So I think it would be fun to look it up. Yeah. I would assume it's hard to diagnose neurodivergence as seen in humans since they by default function so differently from us. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's really hard to know for certain. That being said, I have interacted with like dogs that seem a bit like socially different to other dogs. So I feel like it's possible. I am going to my first stop, my most useful and trusted source of information. Wikipedia. Is there any mention of non-human? There is no mention of non-human animals on the page for autism. Okay. Interesting. Right. Developmental difference, non-human animals. Non-human primates, model animals for developmental psychopathology. That's not what I'm after. The anthropological difference, what can philosophers do to identify differences between humans? That's not what I'm looking for, actually. I scroll. No, this is all about how humans classify non-human animals. Okay. There is one about the G factor in non-human animals. That's quite interesting. Okay. Right. Well, my gut is saying, of course. My brain is also saying, cool, how do you scream for it? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like impossible because they can't complete a bunch of the screening tools. You can't ask them, hey, do you have social differences? Hello, cow. Is your social experience different? Do you ever feel like you don't understand the social rules of being a cow? Yeah. Yeah. Communication, socialization, emotional reciprocity, and behavioral rigidity. Yes, thank you for that. Looking through journals, yes, they've even intentionally induced it. Really? That's interesting. I know dogs can have OCD, and they're used for research into the disorder, but I've never heard of autism in animals. It would be just as hard to detect. Yeah. Moo, yeah. It'd be doable in dogs and cats and apes. You just need to know what to look for. Yeah, apes, definitely. Definitely. Crying at the image of a lone awkward cow. I feel like this is one of those times where someone's going to come in and be like, haha, that's Crelly. I'm sorry. Hi, Lyndon. Hi, welcome in. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm suddenly picturing a cow obsessively painting Warhammer minis and not paying attention to other cows. I love that. I love that mental image. Scar in The Lion King did not understand the social rules of being a lion. This is true. This is true. My dog 1000% is autistic. I always wondered this about my family dog as well, because he's just like a bit odd. Like, I mean this in a loving way. Obviously, I'm autistic. I'm a bit odd too. But yeah, this like he doesn't know how to interact with other dogs. Like, he's okay with humans. I think because, you know, he's used to us. But like, he was socialized pretty well apparently as a puppy. But like, he just doesn't do things right. Like, he doesn't display the right signals. Like, he wags his tail when he's annoyed. Why is he like this? He's such a strange boy. He's really old now, though. So now he's just grumpy all the time. Yeah. The ADOS can diagnose 1-year-old kids, so creating an animal test probably wouldn't be super difficult. I wonder. Is autism found in any other animals? Oh, there's an article on the BBC Science Focus about it. It's not straightforward, but there can be some atypical social habits by dogs, and this is an article by Christian Jarrett. Who are you, Christian Jarrett? Who are you? Dr. Christian Jarrett is a cognitive neuroscientist, science writer, and author. He's the editor of Psyche, the sister magazine to Aeon. Okay, yeah, I know Psyche. That illuminates the human condition through psychology, philosophy, and arts. And has also created the BPS Research Digest blog. No way, I love the Research Digest blog. Oh my god, I love that blog. That's so hype. I love that. Okay, I trust this guy. Okay, so apparently, autism is a neurodevelopment condition found in humans, and some of the diagnostic criteria, such as delay in language development, can't apply straightforwardly to animals. That being said, non-human animals do display autistic-like traits, such as a tendency towards repetitive behavior or atypical social habits. Bull terriers, for example, are especially prone to repetitive tail chasing, which some experts liken to the spinning that is seen in some autistic children. There you go. So the answer is, dunno, maybe, possibly, question mark. Let's see. There's a paper here also that says understanding autism spectrum disorders using animal models. This is like a review paper in zoological research. I'm gonna scan this because I feel like this might be quite medical modelly. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to come back to this in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to come back to this in a minute because I've just seen that there's ads playing. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was like deep into this. So, if it's okay with all of you, a few minutes on Pikmin. Also, hi Techno Penguin, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you. And also Ikatono, hello, welcome in. But yes, if it's okay with you, maybe a few minutes of Pikmin while I go and get a drink. Is that okay? I hope that's okay. You always love the Pikmin. You always love the Pikmin. See you in a minute. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Hi, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Pikmin song. I hate it when there's Pikmin in my culture. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? It's so annoying when there's Pikmin in the culture. Hi, Mascaloxin, welcome in. Hello. And Brainzap, hello, welcome in. I hope you're good. Hello. How are you doing? Bit late, but congrats on getting partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So my dog hates anyone touching his head and actively ducks away from head pats. That's real. I also don't like getting head pats. If you think about it in that context, actually, How do you feel about random people coming up to you and touching your head? Not that weird, actually, I think. Wonder if pets are more likely to have social disorders than wild animals of the same species due to being raised in very weird environments. Well, maybe, but so one of the main, I know that like a lot of animal behavior people will say that like one of the main issues with dogs especially is when they're just not socialized with other dogs because then they become quite aggressive towards them. So yeah. Hi Hilarion, hi, welcome in. Partner, congratulations. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. And Mofu as well. Hello. Welcome in. What is this song? This song? The one that's playing right now? It is Jimmy Brown. There's a duck in Alex Park with a plastic ring around its beak. There's a duck in Alex Park with a plastic ring around its beak by Jim E. Brown. My Oshi. Jim E. Brown. My religion forbids touching other people's heads without permission. Good. Don't touch people in general without permission. Bit weird. My brother used to shout incest whenever anyone in the family hugged him. Okay, that's... Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if pets have serious anxiety. Imagine if you were adopted by some other species, castrated, and then fed kibble while they pick up your poo. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Hi, Ghost Hardware. Hi, welcome in. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Yeah, no, I feel like it would be very distressing, actually, to be... Okay, you know what? Let's not go into my opinions on keeping companion animals. That's not a topic for today. We're looking at whether they can be autistic. So, this paper that I found is understanding autism spectrum conditions with animal models. I'm literally just filling in my own words. Understanding autism spectrum disorders, they said. They didn't say conditions. That's me. I fixed that. With animal models, applications, insight, and perspectives. So what does the abstract say? I don't know if this paper's like open access, so I'm not going to read it. But the abstract says, autism spectrum disorder is typically characterized by common deficits. I'm gonna need to control myself reading this one. I'm gonna need to control myself. Okay. Okay. Autism spectrum disorder is typically characterized by common deficits in social skills and repetitive/stereotyped behaviors. It's widely accepted that genetic and environmental factors solely or in combination cause a autism spectrum disorder. What does that mean? Genetic and environmental factors solely or in combination cause ASD. Ah, yes. My favorite explanation, that it could be genetic and or environmental and or both. Like, what? Way to keep your options open. Anyway, however, the underlying pathogenic mechanism... I'm sorry, I can't do this. This is upsetting me, actually. Wait. The underlying pathogenic... I've never been called a pathogen before. It's me, I'm the pathogen. It's me! I am smallpox! Okay. The underlying pathogenic mechanism is unclear due to its high heterogeneous... I hate the word heterogeneous. There we go. Heterogeneous nature. To better understand the pathogenesis of ASD, various animal models have been generated, which can be generally divided into genetic, environment-induced, and idiopathic animal models. This review, we summarize the common animals used for ASD studies and then discuss the applications, clinical insights, as well as challenges and prospects of current ASD animal models. Okay, well, I'm just going to scroll down and just see what the animals are, because that's what I'm interested in, and I didn't want all of this things about me being smallpox or whatever. So, apparently, they have studied autism in monkeys, so like non-human primates, domestic animals, specifically dogs and cows. They have actually studied it in cows. I said cows as a joke. I said cows as a joke. Fair enough. They've also studied it in rice, brilliant. Rats and mice. Oh yes, my favorite rodent, rice. This is what happens when you stream, then you go to bed at 5 a.m. and then you wake up and you stream again. This is what happens. Autistic rice, yummy. Yeah, that's me when I make dinner. But yes, rice at why? Rats and mice. There we go. Songbirds, zebrafish, fruit flies, and bees. Of course, they've studied autism in fruit flies. It's always the fruit flies. Rice and mats, exactly. Psydere is not smallpox. I hear she is average height pox. Exactly. I like your thinking, Komi Belladonna. I can't be smallpox because I'm not small. I'm average. Oh. Thank you so much, Kami, for the resub. What the heck? Thank you so much for the 2 months sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Fruit flies only live 24 hours or less. Yeah, that's why they're easy to study. And if I remember correctly, their genome is actually pretty simple. So yeah. How can you even tell if a fruit fly was neurodivergent? I don't know. I want to know more about cows. Oh, they've got a list of pros and cons of doing ASD modeling in each animal. Apparently, non-human primates, such as rhesus monkeys and cynomolgus, whatever that is, the advantages are relatives of humans, similar brain structure, traceable eye contact. Limitations, expensive and inconvenient. They're just like me, for real. Domestic animals, dogs and cattle. Advantages, similarity of humans in core clinical phenotypes, temperament, brain structure, physiology, nutritional metabolism, and ethics. Limitations, large size, expensive, inconvenient experiment operation. Okay. Rodents, such as mice, rats, and prairie voles. The advantages are that they're relatively low cost, powerful genetic tools, suitable for drug screening and preclinical study. But the limitations are no sulcus or gyrus structure. I should know what those are. That meaning that they got smooth brain. I don't remember. I don't remember what that means. my gut instinct is like that means they smooth brain, but I actually don't know. That would be such a good like insult, actually. Sulcus, a groove or furrow, especially on the surface of the brain. I was correct! I'm so glad that my 10 years of education weren't wasted. I'm so glad. And then gyrus is a ridge or fold. There you go. I do, in fact, sometimes know what I'm talking about. So rats have smooth brain. I didn't know this. I've learned something today. I like calling rodents tools. It's like the McDonald's CEO calling a burger a product. It is. Ah, yes. My research product. I'm going to start calling all of you that. Research product. Oh, dear. Anyway, but I want to know about the dogs. Specifically, we wanted to know about the dogs. How do they study autism in dogs? Right. So, apparently, so this is what it actually. No, hang on. Let me just I need to triple check the copyright on it before I do this. This is an open access article distributed under CC by NC. I am not using this for commercial reasons. This is an educational stream. Although I make money for it, it is non-profit in nature, and I am not commercializing this research. There we go. Okay. Disclaimer out of the way. So, several studies have proposed that domestic animal models are complementary to traditional rodent models. For example, the dog is an innovative and unique model for many human neuropsychiatric diseases, including ASD. I'm gonna commit a crime. Anyway, sorry. It really bothers me when they describe autism as a disease. It's not a disease. You can't catch it. Like, spending time with me will in fact not make you autistic. It's a me thing. Yeah, sorry. It bothers me when they do that. Like, disease implies that it's like a medical model thing, right? It says that there's something wrong with me. that needs to be fixed. And I don't like that. That upsets me. I don't appreciate that because I think that if I wasn't autistic, I wouldn't have a PhD, frankly, and I wouldn't be a VTuber. I would be a very different person. And yeah, don't like that. Don't like that. Not all diseases are communicable though. Yeah, but like disease is like it's something that's problematic and needs to be fixed, right? It's like what even is that? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't actually know what the definition of disease is. Ori, what the heck? Ori! Ori, what the heck? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, but also why? You don't need to do that. Hi, Ori! How are you doing? Everybody, if you don't know Ori, she is my Oshi. She's like one of my favorite people ever. Please go follow her. She does like electronics projects, silly little electronics projects on Handcam, and she is just I love her so much. Please go check her out. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. How are you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Disease is something to do with the cells in the body. I don't know the full technical explanation. Apparently, let's have a look at the Cambridge Dictionary. An illness. That's helpful. It's caused by a failure of health. An illness that is caused by a failure of health. Brilliant. What is a disease? Answer me this. The national, the NIH. It's on the National Library of Medicine. What is a disease? Answer me this, good sir. So the World Health Organization's definition is a state of complete physical, mental, and social health. Okay, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. But what is a disease? You're not answering my question. What is a disease? I'm struggling. Okay. Regardless, I don't think that my autism is a disease. Any harmful deviation from normal structure or functional state of an autism of an organism. I'm struggling today. We're struggling today. This is not going well. Also, never gonna find me. Sorry, I didn't see your lab safety register check in there. Hello, welcome in. And Jedi Cyberpunk as well. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check in. What is a condition? What is an ailment, malady, affliction, disorder? What do you mean by disease? What do you mean by A? What do you mean by what? But yes, disease, any harmful deviation from the healthy structural or functional state of an organism, generally associated with certain signs and symptoms differing
While we have the hype
in nature
train,
from
a
physical
more
injury.
formal congratulations to Psydere on partner. Serbibans, Serbiminabans.
Lorian, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the formal congratulations. Thank you. And CDM, thank you so much for the sub as well. Thank you. Thank you. What the heck? We're on a level 3 hype train. Oh, what the heck? Thank you. Thank you so much. Disease equals no health. Health equals no disease. Yeah, it's a bit circular, isn't it? Like, what do you do with that? An abnormal condition that negatively affects the structural function of all parts of the body, characterized by specific signs, symptoms, or dysfunctions. Yeah, and I don't think that I have a condition. I don't think that autism negatively affects me, you know? Well, it did. It definitely did until I learned how to manage it.
Flatulence Incarnate gifted a tier 1 sub to Psydere. They have given 32 gift subs in the channel.
Flatulence Incarnate, thank you for the gift sub to Psydere. I'm also offended that somebody has that account. I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna fight them. And Jedi Cyberpunk, thank you so much for the 20 bits. And thank you, Umidin, as well for the 10 bits as well. Although again, I'm mildly offended that you've done it all in lots of ones. Like what? This is a real account. They're Spanish speaking. Más bueno que ella, más malo que mañana. How did I do? Terribly, I imagine. Terribly. I've never learned Spanish. Psydere last streamed 4 years ago. They were streaming before me, to be fair. Like, they were streaming before me. It's me, I'm the imposter. If someone says Psydere, you can say, no, that's someone else, I'm Psydere. This is true, I can. Yellowish Green Dragon, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome into the research participation pool. Sounds like perfect English pronunciation of Spanish. That's implying that I am saying it with a heavy English accent, which upsets me, actually. That upsets me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, actually. Oh dear. Yeah, no. Flatty Inc. is in the mood for being a maniac. Flatulence is always in the mood for being a maniac, actually. Flatulence is always Flatulence incarnate is always here to be a menace. Calling me Flatty Inc. sounds very corporate. Yeah, Flatty Co-Limited, exactly. Hi, Chaos Fire Dragon. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety ratio check-in. Hi. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cool man, Dennis is a menace. I've not done that in so long. When was the last time that I did that? I don't know if I can still do it. How does it go? No, we're not doing that right now. You all don't need to hear that, actually. I changed my mind. Hi, Glenn Grossen. Hi. Welcome in. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. And thank you for the 7 stream streaking outside. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cool man, Dennis. He is indeed a menace. No, we're not doing the postural rapper. We're not doing that. I promised myself I'd never do that again. Okay. Anyway, back to the autism as a disease or whatever. The advantage of a dog model includes significant inter-individual differences in social cognitive performances in dogs. There you go. Apparently, dogs can differ in how they process social information, and we can observe that? Question mark. Greater phenotypic similarity between dogs and humans than between rodents and humans. And C, symptoms that are functionally similar to the human condition, and D, similar causes in dogs than rodents. Okay, they've like cited a paper here. The dog Canis familiaris as a translational model of autism. It's high time that we move from promise to reality. This sounds like it's a theoretical / opinion piece. Thank you so much for the hype train, everybody. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Right, let's see. What does this say? This has got a mildly amusing image in it, actually. Let's see. What does the abstract say? What's the wait, let me check. Open access. It's also CC by non-commercial. Okay. This paper is called The Dog Canis Familiaris is a translational model of autism. It is high time we move from promise to reality. And it has been published by Joseph Topal, Victor Rahman, and Babala Turkson in Cognitive Science. Why is Cognitive Science? That's me citing it. And again, I'm not using this for commercial purposes. Technically speaking, could a cockroach have autism? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know anything about cockroaches. I actually don't know. I know nothing. I barely know humans. Imagine knowing things. Can't relate. Oh dear. Right, what does this say? So, the abstract says, selecting appropriate animal models for a particular human phenomenon is a difficult but important challenge. The difficulty lies in finding animal behaviors that are not only sufficiently relevant and analog to the complex human symptoms, which is the face validity, but also have similar underlying biological and etiological mechanisms, which is the translational or construct validity, and also have human-like responses to treatment, which is predictive validity. Over the past several years, the domestic dog has been increasingly proposed as a model for comparative and translational neuroscience. In parallel to the recent advances in canine behavior research, dogs have also been proposed as a model of many human neuropsychiatric conditions, including autism spectrum disorder. In this opinion paper, we will shortly discuss the challenging nature of autism research and then summarize the different neurocognitive frameworks of ASD which make the case for a canine model of autism. The translational value of dog model stems from the recognition that A, there is a large individual variability in the manifestation of dogs' cognitive social abilities, including both high and low phenotypic extremes. This is true, actually. Dogs, like, one thing that we do have is, one thing that I know that we do have is like a measure, like, there are some personality traits that you can measure in dogs. So, for example, introversion, extroversion, that is a dimension. You can measure that in dogs through observation. You can measure that. B, the phenotypic similarity between the dog and the human symptoms are much higher than between the rodent and human symptoms. And C, the symptoms are functionally analogous to the human condition. And D, they're more likely to have a similar etiology. This is basically just copy and pasted. Taking my SMH. Wow. That's not, it's very heavily paraphrased out of their abstract. That's quite funny. Anyway, so apparently, yes, question mark, dogs might have something analogous to autism, and neuroscientists are using it as a way to study autism in humans. Apparently. Oh, there's like a little table here that says, okay, this is a useful table, but also this is not displaying properly. Wait. This is not displaying properly at all. Let me bring up the PDF. Sorry, this is like a really weird rabbit hole to go down, but now I'm interested, so we're doing it. So I am showing you a paper. You know what? I'm going to go on this side. This makes more sense. Okay. So this is the paper that I've just been looking at, right? They have a table here that outlines how it's studied amongst... wait, how do I zoom in? Like that. There we go. How it's studied in humans and in dogs, right? So it's like the behavioral manifestation of autism in humans. So preference for face-to-face interactions and eye contact. And then the findings for patients with ASD compared to typically developing participants. Infants with ASD look at the face of another less. Adolescent individuals with ASD make fewer fixations on the eye region of faces. That's right. I canonically will not look at you. And then it's measured through coding of home videotapes of the infant's first birthday party or watching video clips of social interactions and like eye tracking technology. Yes. But then in studies on dogs, apparently, so 5-week-old puppies show spontaneous tendency to gaze at humans' faces, which is an increased preference for face-to-face interactions. Adult pet dogs visually explore the eye region of human faces more than other facial features. How is it measured? Dogs are allowed to explore an unfamiliar room freely in the presence of non-interactive human partners, watching human facial images, using eye tracking technology. You can do eye tracking on dogs? That's so cute. I love that. That's so... I'm just imagining a dog in like little glasses. That's so cute. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, apparently there are analogous behaviors in dogs and you can measure them, which is really interesting. Yeah. We actively bred autism into dogs. That's why sheepdog breeds are trying to herd and get depressed if you don't give them a job. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly the same. I think that's more around, you know, whether they have the... I think that's more around how much physical activity that they need, right? And I don't know though. I guess yeah, working dogs have been selectively bred to be working. Now that you say it, actually, so I don't know. I've never interacted with a working dog. My family's dog is a Labrador, and he's an idiot. So I mean that in a loving way. Dogs and humans are notable in that facial processing skills correlate across species. If you can identify human facial expressions, you'll be close to equally good with dogs usually. Really? That's so interesting. So one of my best friends has a dog. She's a greyhound. I love her. And she loves me. She gets very overly excited, specifically when I'm coming to visit, apparently. And also like recognizes my name and will like get excited if my name is said, which is really cute. But she's like really weird with most people. She's not very good at like interacting with people, and she doesn't really look at people very much. So, well, actually, no, she's the opposite. She like stares, saying that. Like she doesn't look at people appropriately. She's like you will be minding your own business, doing nothing, and she's just like, just watching you. Yeah. Yeah. When greyhounds get the zoomies, they better believe they zoom. Yeah, they're so cute. I love them so much. I loved them so much. Because huskies are different in that they've been bred to pull sleds all day long. Oh. My point is that working dogs have been bred to have very specific eye fixations. Oh, I see. I understand. Okay. Autism to autism communication apparently works between dogs and humans. It's true. Whole time so I finished the paper. I mean, we're not finishing the paper. I just wanted to find this specific table. This is the table that I was looking for to answer the question, I think. So I think the answer to the question based on the papers, because this is like I meant to do that. This is like a summary of evidence, right? So there is actual evidence showing that like you can like measure these things, right? So in these cases, that does suggest that dogs, at least, do have social behaviors that may be analogous to autism. Potentially. But we're not 100% sure how we're gonna... Like, I mean, some of it can be measured. Some of it we do have, like, experimental paradigms for measuring it. I don't know much about animal behavior. I'm not an animal behavior person. I am a human behavior person. So, yeah. Do they have a table for cows? I don't know. I should have a look. Wait. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm going to have a look at this other paper. Cattle. They said cattle. They didn't say cow. They said cattle. Cattle have also been utilized to study the molecular mechanism underlying ASD. A recent study tested the enrichment of polymorphisms associated with cattle temperament in genes involving 4 characteristics of human psychosis and personality disorders, including schizophrenia, ASD, neuroticism, and developmental delay disorder. One of those things is not like the others, actually. Or 2 of those things. No. Anyway. Human psychosis and personality disorder is not the correct way to describe any kind of developmental difference, actually, specifically on the autism spectrum. Like, I don't like these papers. I'm getting angry. Association of autism spectrum disorder risk genes with cattle temperament. They isolated autistic genes in cattle? This is wacky. Genetics, selection, evolution. I'm confused. Temperament traits are of high importance across species. In humans, temperament or personality traits correlate with psychological traits and psychiatric disorders. In cattle, they impact animal welfare, product quality, and human safety, and therefore are of direct commercial importance. We hypothesize that genetic factors contribute to variation in temperament among individuals within a species will be shared with humans and cattle. Using inputted whole genome sequence data from 9,223, there we go, beef cattle from 3 cohorts. A series of genome-wide association studies was undertaken on cattle flight time. A temperament phenotype measured as the time taken for an animal to cover a short fixed distance after being released from an enclosure. We also investigated the association of cattle temperament with polymorphisms in bovine orthologs of risk genes for autism, neuroticism, schizophrenia, and developmental. And then there's a bunch of geneticsy stuff that I don't understand. Variants close to ASD susceptibility genes were associated with cattle temperament and explained 6.5% of the total additive genetic variance in the largest cattle cohort. So basically, they've just like slapped statistical testing on a whole bunch of genes and hoped for the best. I know that there's benefits to like whole genome association studies, but also I'm a bit sus. What I'm hearing is a bunch of geneticists misusing psych terms. That's what I'm hearing too, to be honest. That's what I'm hearing too. I understand the genetics side of it that they're doing. Certain genome-wide association maps have zeroed in on patterns that they're overlapping with patterns on other mammals. But the fact they're misusing the psych terms by your understanding is making me saucy. Yeah, we could. I want to rip this paper apart together. It is CC by, so we could. I'll send you a link to it. It's from 2020, but it is, I don't know, it's from someone at Queensland, University of Queensland. I don't know how they are for genetics. I don't know things. About the article, COI, there we go. I'm gonna send you it. There you are. Enjoy. Oh, the like the image, the link card has got cows in it, and the cows are beefy. They're really funny. I like them. Anyway, yeah. Cannot rip the paper in half, but you can split the file into 2 files. This is true. The paper's one big saucy backer. I don't know. I don't know enough about genetics to say, but I am suspicious. I'm always suspicious, you know, of like things where they're. I'm just a bit suspicious of studies where they're comparing across species and they're like, yeah, this is definitely like an analog for this. And I'm like, at least with psychiatric stuff, and I'm like, sure. Yeah. I love the fact that cats cannot be studied because they have a proven track record of being buttholes. They've been repeatedly reported to be seemingly catch on that they're being studied and modified their behavior just to mess with the scientists study with them. I love that so much. That's me. I'm a cat. Hi, Gilgamesh and Tristira. Hello, hello. Thank you for the lab safety ratio check-ins. Thank you. Welcome in. Seems like they might be on something with the measurements, but they should study better the concepts they're using there. Yeah. I mean, it's just more that like they're saying that there are bovine analogs to autism, and I don't know if they're talking in the genetic sense or if they're talking in the psychiatric sense because I've literally just skimmed the abstract. I wish to know more. Perhaps me and Bobo will make this happen. Who knows? Who knows? doing some kind of like, I don't know, video or stream on cow autism is kind of wild though. Oh yes, cow autism. Oh dear. Right. Anyway, that was the question. Can animals like dogs or cats have neurodivergence like ADHD and or autism? Maybe is the answer. Seems like possibly dogs don't know about cats. Potentially other animals too. Not sure. Need a bit more information, frankly. Let's see. Okay. I am getting another question. Let's have a look. Autism, exactly. I'm more comfortable with cross-species modeling for certain mechanistic aspects of metabolism, clotting, protein folding, etc. when they start going into your field, I don't know enough. I can physically see the analogs working for a protein structure, but autism is more complex. Yeah. I know a psychiatrist VTuber. What if we did that? Maybe I could reach out and ask if they'd be up for doing like a 3-way thing. Because this would be fun. I wish to know more about the cowtism. Okay. Oh. Uh. See. Sorry, I'm laughing because like there's also a thing on the form where you can like put in suggestions for content or like recommendations for improving, and a bunch of it is just like, "Can you stream more, please?" I'm sorry. I have a job. I have a job. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. uh, I'm looking through. I'm seeing which of them like call to me. You know. Because some of them are good, but I like don't want to. Like I'm just not feeling it today. uh oh, interesting. That one I need to think about more. Uh one I'm reading. That's very long. Uh okay. This is a question that I can talk about. I can't necessarily answer it though. Thank you so much for the 45 stream streak, Tristira. What the heck? Thank you so much. Thank you. Email title: I wish to know more about the cowtism, and I've heard you're the person to talk to. Exactly. Hi, Dumpster Juice. Hi. Thank you for the live safety ratio check-in. Christira the goat? Absolutely. Okay. Anonymous person has asked, what was your doctoral thesis about? I do believe some of you know who I am. If you know who I am, you're welcome to ask what my doctoral thesis was about. If you really care, you're allowed to ask. I might go before I talk about it because I'm still in the kind of like post-traumatic phase. Like the first year after you get your doctorate is a bit like, but I'm getting there. However, I can't give the specifics on stream about what my doctoral thesis was about. There's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that a PhD thesis is incredibly niche. It's incredibly niche. It pins you down to being a certain person. Like there's no one else in the world that has done a doctoral thesis on the thing that I did mine on, you know? Because it's like it's very specific. It's very specific and no one else has done it. As in like the topic it was on plus the like theoretical approach that I took plus the methods that I used. Like the combination of 3 things, there's only me. It's just me. Haha. So yeah, I can't tell you the specifics. What I can tell you is that my PhD research and research in general is around how people interact with science and technology. So, what does that mean? Well, I'm especially interested in why people have weird beliefs around science and technology. So, for example, why do they think that they can be best friends with an AI? Why do they believe conspiracy theories? Why do they believe misinformation? Why do they think that they're a good scientist when they're actually committing research fraud? These kinds of things interest me. So, yeah. So, it was vaguely in the domain of why people believe conspiracy theories and misinformation. That's all I'm able to say. That in itself still narrows me down a bit too much, but you know, I've always said I don't really care if people find out who I am, just don't go sharing it with people, like not because I care about being doxxed because I genuinely don't. It's more just like I like the two things being a bit disconnected. Because conspiracy theories and misinformation are very heavily politicized topics, and the specifics of what I did is something that people could look at and make strong assumptions about, and it would then potentially cause me a whole bunch of problems, and I can't be bothered with dealing with that on stream because streaming is my fun, happy place. And I have to deal with this a little bit all the time, every day. And I get many weird DMs over the years. I've got so many. I get more weird DMs due to my research than I do due to streaming. So, like, you guys are chill. You're all chill. It's the research that's problematic, actually. So yeah. All complex questions. Yeah, but they're really fun questions. They're really interesting. I've been fascinated by conspiracy theory and joys for a long time. I get it. If you want like a book, a good introductory book about like the actual psychology of it, Suspicious Minds by Rob Brotherton. Really, really good. It's a book that I meant to read at the beginning of my PhD and never got around to doing it. But it's a really, really good, accessible introduction to the psychology literature on it. Highly recommend. You're obviously a younger version of Professor Karen Douglas. I wish. I wish. She's cool. Little secret between us. I've met Karen. The fact that I've said Karen instead of Professor Douglas probably shows you that I know this person better than I meant to indicate. I have met Professor Douglas and can confirm she is a lovely person and is really cool. You know, she's one of those people where you meet them and you're like, you're cool. And a lot of her collaborators are the same. She's just surrounded by very cool people. So yeah. Life of Security is a life of security. Genuinely, unironically that though. Unironically that. No thesis allowed on Happy Place. Yes, thesis banned. Karen Douglas, yeah. My Oshi, my Kami Oshi. Who is the author? A bunch of stuff comes up for Suspicious Minds that's not on topic. Let me find the actual book. Let me find it. I literally have it, like I took it out of the library. I returned it to the library. I took it out again because I wanted... I had it out for like 6 months. I had to return it and then I got it back out a week later. Because I wasn't done with it. Like, I was done with it. I'd read it. I read the whole thing in like 3 days. But I wanted to go back and like fine-tooth comb over it a bit because I need to write up a thing about it. But yeah. That's a thing. Yeah. Let me find it. Is it Rob Brotherton? Yeah, it's Rob. That's okay. It's Suspicious Minds: Why We Believe Conspiracy Theories by Rob Brotherton. It's on Bloomsbury Publishing, apparently. It's this one. There you go. That one. Good book. Recommend it. It's very surface level. It's very surface level, but I think it does a pretty good job of being surface level, if that makes sense. Like, it goes into each thing enough, but in a very accessible way that I feel like by the end of it, you would probably be able to, like, when I do a paper reading on stream, you might be able to then start to go through the paper and have a bit of prior knowledge before you read it and potentially then ask questions, potentially, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Just like people say art should be separated from the artist, I think research should be separated from the researcher. But the thing with Karen, though, is that she's cool as a person and she also does cool research. She's like the whole package. I hope I can convince her to come onto stream one day. I'm sorry, I can't do the pretending anymore. I know her, and I keep meaning to like reach out. I don't know her super well. I keep meaning to reach out and be like, hey, do you want to come on stream one day? Like, she knows that Psydere exists. She has a sticker. Like, She has a sticker. Robbie Sutton also has a sticker. I must confess it. I'm sorry. I can't lie anymore. I can't. This is the only thing that's really bad, right? I try and pretend things on stream to like maintain an air of mystique, and I can't do it. I can't. I'm so bad at lying. Oh dear. Rob Brotherton's the kind of name a lizard alien would come up with on the spot. It's true. It is incredibly generic. It's very true. I don't know Rob. Like, Rob is someone I don't know. Oh, he also has a book about fake news. I should read that too. I don't know who Rob is. I don't know anything about him. But the book was good. Conspiracypsychology.com. Is this his website? That's so funny. I love that. Oh, there's a post on there by Dan Jolie, who also does pretty cool research. Okay. Cool. I've never met Karen, but she's my OC because she does incredible research. She does such good research. She's been like, you all need to understand, like, Karen Douglas is like one of the, like, I would argue one of the pioneers. Like, she is the full package as a researcher. She does good research. Most of the research is actually pretty robust. She does a lot of like, she mostly does like open science practices. She's a good mentor. And she also does like science communication stuff. Like she goes and talks to like podcasts and on the radio and on TV and stuff. Like she is the full package. And she gets like, you know, cool grants. I don't know. She's just cool. I don't know if she's a pioneer, but definitely one of the #1 experts in the field. I mean, I'm thinking pioneer in terms of the social psychology side of it, though, because I know that conspiracy theories were pretty well researched in like kind of cognitive psych and political science before Karen. But I feel like she was one of the social psychology pioneers. I don't know. I might be wrong. Have you read On BS? I have. Or at least I've read the essay version of it. I feel like you've asked me that before. Hello there, fellow human. I am John Everyman. Pleased to meet you. Me when I turn up to the social function. Hello, fellow human. I am also a human. Did you enjoy your breakfast of yogurt and toast? That's what humans eat for breakfast, correct? Oh dear. InfoSec's part of my job, and I've doxed privately a number of VTubers just to see if I could. As in I did the research and found private information they didn't want to be found, and then contacted them privately to let them know where I found it and how I found it so they could fix it, and then promptly forgot the results and moved on. I see. Yeah, for me, I don't care. So, like, I've accepted it. I'm pretty sure at some point, like, me as a public-facing researcher and me as Psydere are probably going to converge into one person eventually. Or, like, you know, for me, it's like a thin veneer of people don't know who I am. But in reality, I know probably about a third of my viewers have met me. So, yeah. What can I say? I am bad at being a VTuber. Rug. Yeah. Thanks for the book recommendation. I like chores. I hope your chores go well. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy the book. Do you also enjoy breathing, fellow human? Exactly. I've mentioned it before, yes. Yeah, I think I've read the, you know, I'm just going to bring up Tarot. Check. Let me see. I've docked myself pretty thoroughly with Arpents and the Glockenspiels. It's true, you have. I've never looked you up, though. I don't generally look people up. That's a bit weird. I could if I wanted to. I know half of you guys' real names. I've posted you things. Like, anyway, what was I looking for? Oh, hang on, it's loading. It's buffering. Wait. Okay, Okay, sorry. My Zotero does this thing where like you can't search while it's doing an RSS feed update. So I have to wait until my RSS feeds have all updated. Not that I've looked at them in a year. I bought and drank yogurt the other day without realizing it was expired. Oh no, I'm sorry, CDM. That's kind of gross. That's kind of gross. I wanted to attend a networking event this week, but I was so tired and stressed from the social anxiety that I developed a migraine and had to literally run out in around 15 minutes. Oh no, I hope your migraine recovered quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. I only get social anxiety in really weirdly specific situations nowadays. I used to get it really bad when I was younger, and then I kind of like, it was another thing that I exposure therapied myself out of. But also for me, getting that autism diagnosis made a big difference because when I was younger, a lot of my, I'm actually gonna put this away for a second. When I was younger, a lot of my social anxiety was around people think I'm weird, and I didn't know why. And I had like CBT therapy at one point to try and help with this. Like when I turned 18, and the therapist was like, right, we need to address these, these negative thoughts that you're weird, and we need to address them because they're faulty. And I was like, but they're not. But they're not. Yeah. And then I got my autism diagnosis. I was like, I am weird. Because it's really like the therapist was like, we need to challenge these assumptions, and I was like, they're not assumptions. I'm getting feedback from people telling me it. Like, because especially when you're a teenager, people when you're a teenager are mean. People are just mean when you're a teenager. So people were very explicit about me being weird. Now it's like, I think now I'm confident enough in my weirdness that people don't question it. That's the way to go about it. I'm now confident in my uncanny valleyness. But like getting the autism diagnosis was a really big part of it. Because it made me realize, oh yes, there is in fact something clinically diagnosably weird about me. And people just have to deal with it. Yeah. Apparently I don't have on bullshit in my, sorry for swearing, in my Zotero, but I know for a fact I've read it because it's like one of the foundational essays that you're meant to read when you're doing misinformation research. I know for a fact I've read it. Where is it gone? Things keep disappearing out of my Zotero library recently where I'm like, I know for a fact I've read this, and then it just doesn't appear. Oh well. Oh well. I think being considered weird is heavily dependent on your environment. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. But like I went to a I think it was just like layers of things because I didn't go to a fancy school, but I went to a selective school. So a lot of the people that I was around were very, very different from me. Like I got in there by accident, basically. Like I just happened to be, we did the testing, and I just got a really high score on like two of the things. I think it was like verbal reasoning. It's like verbal reasoning and literacy were like really, really ridiculously high, and then my maths was just average. And then they were like, oh, we didn't give you any tutoring because we didn't expect that. And then I ended up at the school. So yeah, that was awkward. Yeah. I mean, not that I would have got tutoring anyway, because you would have had to have paid for that, but it is what it is. I think we did like some preparatory lessons at my primary school, but it was like after school and there was not many of them. Yeah. But yeah, in the context of that, I was definitely weird in many ways. Primary Crick, hi, thank you for the lab safety rated check-in. I hope you're good. How did the therapist react to getting told off that their assumptions were off? They just kind of doubled down. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was like a 6 sessions. It was IAT, so what does that stand for? Improving access to psychological therapies, I think is what it stands for. It's like short form CBT, like it's compressed. You go fast. Yeah. I was like but I have evidence. And then they were like, but do you though? And I was like, yes, large quantities of it. And then they were like, you should, if you think that there's evidence, you should document it and like what happens over the next week and then come back with your evidence. And I was like, okay. And then I did. And I had quite a lot of it. And they were like, um. So then we instead kind of pivoted more towards like, improving my self-confidence. Because it moved away from being like, people think you're weird when you're not weird. And we need to challenge that assumption. It moved to more like, so what? So what if they think you're weird? But I was a teenager, so there are actually quite significant social problems with being weird. Because I had to resit a year of school, so still had another year of school ahead of me, even though I just turned 18. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, it was a weird thing, but the first 3 sessions were very much around this like, you think you're weird when you're not, and we need to challenge those assumptions. And then the last 3 sessions were more, what if people think that you're weird? What's the worst that could happen? And I kind of came to the conclusion that when you're at high school, it's actually pretty bad to be weird, but when you go to uni, people stop caring, and that's exactly what happened. So that's good. Yeah. I didn't even realize there's an ad break. I'm sorry. Someone should have told me. My bad. Congrats on reaching partner. Thank you so much, Robert Brown. Thank you. Also, hi. Sorry, I like read your message and I didn't say hi to you. Hello. Yeah. Teens that didn't engage in any war crimes are usually victims of said crimes. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's me. I was the victim of the war crime. But the good news is that now I'm pretty confident and things like that don't bother me, and that's how I can be a streamer and also research a heavily politicized topic and not really be bothered by it. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. That yelling in your music? Yes. Violet, surely you know me well enough to know. Actually, I don't think we've ever talked about music. I'm sorry to break this to you. I do have a few things on my emotional support shoegaze playlist that are not shoegaze. I just sneak them in there, you know, to see if people notice. Sneaky. Sneaky. Got by with being very weird by most. I got by with being very weird. I can read. I got by with being very weird by most people think that I was joking when I was just very strange. You do have that energy, to be fair. Like you have the comedian energy, so I can see why they thought that. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure the yelling wasn't outside my window. I have so many questions. I see. I understand. I have to get going soon. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for joining us, CDM. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Hi, Baron Gamu. Hi. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me find another question. There's still time to add a question, if you wish to. Right. Ooh, that's fun. I don't know anything about that though. I need to look into that before I do it. Let's see. Let's see. So many. So many questions. I need you to understand there's like 105 rows on my spreadsheet. So this isn't me like being, I mean, it is a bit of me being fussy. Some of them I'm looking at and I'm like, I don't think I can answer that off the top of my head. I need to like prepare for it. And some of it is like, that's a fun question, but I'm not feeling it. Not right now. Like there's one question here that's like any takes on mental health awareness. And that's a really interesting question, but I need to prepare for that one because I don't know enough about it off the top of my head. Okay. This is a good one, I think. Oh, that's really long. I need to adjust the question slightly. Wait. Okay. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Right, there we go. Oh, that's covering up me. That's now too big. Okay, wait. Hi, Morpheus. No, thank you for the lab safety ratio check-in. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I was so confused for a second because you have a Polish song on and I thought the music unmuted. I had music unmuted for a second. I'm sorry. No, I actually just had Lady Pank on, I think. I have a couple of Polish songs on my playlist. And thank you for the lab safety ratio check-in also, and hello in your tryhard. Hello. Right, so what are your what? Okay. What are your opinions or thoughts on those online IQ, autism, or personality tests? Would you say they generally have any use for anything other than as a funny joke or comparison between friends? That was a question from Aux. Thank you for the question, Aux. I have no idea why you possibly could have submitted this question. I'm sure that there is no specific reason. I'm sure it's just general, just like interest, and I'm sure that it's nothing to do with anything that we might recognize as a community. I'm sure it's nothing to do with any of my friends and what they do with their communities. I'm sure it's nothing to do with anything like that. Thank you for the question. So, here is the thing. I have kind of mixed feelings about them in general. I'm gonna put this away now. Okay. I have mixed feelings about them in general, right? Because some of them, so there's like, for example, there's there's a website, I think it's called like Open Psychometrics, and some of the measures that they have on there are actual measures that we use. Now, on the one hand, I'm always in favor of people having tools that can help them be introspective and understand themselves. Okay. I think it's like being able to like understand yourself better is like it's needed to grow as a person, right? You need to be able to identify your flaws in order to work on them. Or like the things that you're struggling with in order to build on them. And for some people, they do these tests as a funny joke. And it does actually tell them something meaningful about themselves. I don't necessarily have a problem with that inherently. I have a problem with when they are taken seriously. So I think that they're fine, completely fine as a joke, completely fine as a tool for a bit of introspection. It's when they are then like the results are taken too seriously, I start to have an issue with them. So, for example, if somebody does a test, say, like about autism, let's say somebody does like an online version of the autism quotient and they get a score of 48. That's pretty high. That's pretty high. I think the clinical threshold is like 25 or something, if I remember correctly. So it's pretty high. And then they're like, huh, I guess I'm autistic. And then they start going around and identifying as autistic because of that without talking to any professionals about it. That is when I start to have a bit of an issue with it, because at the end of the day, an internet tool is just a tool, and the way that a tool is used differs depending on whether someone has experience using it or not, right? So the way that a clinician applies that tool is very different to how a layperson will. My other issue with them, to be honest, in general, like I like things being open, but there is I do slightly worry that it could be affecting the validity of them, because if somebody is like really, really into doing personality tests, or like if somebody's circle of friends, everybody does personality tests, just like for fun all the time. They not all the time, but like, you know, every couple of months they'll do like a personality test. Eventually, if you keep doing them, you're going to start recognizing the items on them. And the problem is that if you're then taking part in research and you recognize a bunch of the items on the scales and you know what they're measuring, then that can affect how you respond to them in the context of the research. So that worries me too, to be honest, is the impact that it has on research. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. They're out there. I think as professionals, we need to work around that rather than be like, let's ban them. Yeah. Yeah, these web tests should be for amusement only. I agree. Thank you for the lurk, Jade Low. I hope you enjoy your lurk. Let's use MBTI for V-theorem decision making. Comey, I will bite you. I will bite you. All I will say is that I got 100% on anxiety on that test. This is what I mean though, okay? So if you like go away and you now be like, I have anxiety disorder, you know, that's not good. If you then are like, huh, this is kind of telling me something about myself and then maybe I should talk to a professional about it, that's different, you know? But likewise, if someone's like, oh, I've got really high on the autism online test, I'm autistic now. That's different from if they go, okay, I got a high score on this test and I wasn't necessarily expecting it. And it does, like, now that I think about it, that kind of makes sense. I'm going to go away and I'm going to learn more about this. And then I'm going to go and talk to my medical professional who will refer me for an assessment. That's a very different outcome, you know? And the problem is that if someone starts self-identifying with a label that they haven't been diagnosed with, they can actually adjust their behavior to match it. So then if they eventually go for an assessment, there's a higher risk of false positive. So yeah. I don't know. But then again, you know, neurodevelopmental conditions are all just like a social construct anyway. So I don't know. I don't think you can self-administer a validated scale and make any strong decisions based on that. And half the time it's a scale that you could, if it's the scale that you could self-administer, it's a screener as opposed to being diagnostic. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the other thing is that a lot of people without any kind of, you know, professional background, they don't understand the difference between screening and diagnostics. Like, if you do the autism quotient, that's a screener. That's not a diagnostic. You have to then go and do an ADOS, which is like a big old assessment. You have to do all sorts of tasks. It takes a whole day. It was very distressing, actually. At least when I did it. Like, by the end of it, I was like, my brain is so fried. Because I had to do like a double whammy. It was a whole day. It was like a clinical interview in the morning and then the ADOS in the afternoon. Oh my God. Brain became spaghetti. Yeah, people don't understand like the difference there. So yeah. Even a lot of the actual well-researched personality tests are on shaky ground. Yeah, exactly. Most of these questionnaires are really poorly written. You wouldn't get a passing grade on first year on any social study or something like that. You know, I think it's because some of them, like, they got validated, you know, like 30, 40 years ago, and then they've not been updated ever since. So like I have this issue with there's like one there's one scale that I've used, and when I asked, so I always like ask people for qualitative feedback when I use a validated scale, just to see if there's anything that's like how they feel about the scale is actually reflected in their responses on like a qualitative level. And like loads of people were replying in the qualitative comment box being like, I hate this scale so much. I cannot emphasize enough to you how much I hate this scale. And I was like, huh, interesting. But this scale is one that's used over and over and over and over and over again. I think also the questions are kind of problematic because I think they kind of overlap concepts a bit. But, you know, now I've got, you know, qualitative evidence of that. So that's good. Yeah. Why is posture check limited per stream? Because I got bored of constantly being made to posture check, to be frank. That's the reason. But thank you for the hydrate. My posture check is actually, like, I don't really need it because my posture is actually pretty good. So I normally sit up pretty straight. At least when I'm streaming, because I am at my desk and therefore I have trained myself to sit up relatively straight most of the time. Because I am here all the time for work. So yeah. Hi Carbo Cuppa, thank you for the lab safety register check-in. I feel like I might have already said that. Oh well. And Chuck Builds Bro, hi, hello, happy Sunday to you too. I felt weird about my ADHD diagnosis. It was obvious how to answer to be diagnosed, but that was in a clinical setting where my answers could be corroborated with other questioning. That's the thing, right? Like, you're not going to get a diagnosis of something like that without converging evidence, basically. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize. So the ADOS that I had to do, the autism diagnosis observation schedule, question mark? Perhaps Flatulence Incarnate is going to come in and correct my misinformation if I'm wrong. That's like a big old battery of tests, but it's like, so I did a clinical interview, which was, you know, asking me questions. I did questionnaires as well. But I also did, sorry, I'm like, can you hear a noise? Is there like a noise in the background? Can anyone hear that? The fact that no one's saying yes makes me think you couldn't hear that, which is good. There was some kind of alarm going off. Just the music. Maybe the music was hiding it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure the alarm is not a problem. But yeah, it was like a bunch of like tasks. I had to like sit down and actually do a bunch of tasks. So yeah. Not recommended to sit with the same posture for an extended period of time. I don't worry. Like, I get up whenever there's an ad break and I'm like, whenever it's the Pikmin song, I'm up. I'm stood up. I'm pretty good at that, I think. Yeah. I immediately shrimped. No shrimping. Shrimp bad. No shrimping. Those tests are kind of like the fat caliper test for body fat percentage. The calipers are easy to use, but it's easy to misuse. I have experience with them properly, and even I have to do repeats to make sure I'm accurate. The general population could get bad data, and that possibly leads to bad dietary choices. Also, the general population does not understand body fat percentages, and then assume what they see on social media is accurate. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same with, like, you know, these personality tests. Yeah. Yeah, like when I'm diagnosing ADHD, it's not just the ASRS. I'm calling people's moms and their roommates. Yeah, they also interviewed one of my relatives about what I was like as a child. And they like wanted to see my in the UK there was like a book thing, like a book that would document your development. That yeah. They do the ADOS on adults. I mean, I had to do it, but this was like years ago, to be fair. Like, probably practice has moved on quite significantly. This was like 15 years ago, I think. 10 years ago. It's 10 years ago. Yeah. I'm bad at background noises due to the boom boom. Valid. Valid. I finally forgot about the Pikmin song. How could you? Terrible. Standing up for the national anthem of the Pikmin. True. It's so true. Okay, well, we've answered that question, I think. Did that answer the question, Alex? I hope that answered the question. TLDR, but fine as joke. Do not take serious, though. Yeah. Success. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick look and see. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I'm kind of tired. It's been 2.5 hours, actually, to be fair. I'm kind of tired. We had a long stream last night, and I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. So, is there any questions that you would like a quick answer to in chat? Is there any questions that you would like a quick answer to in chat? Because I can answer quick fire questions right now if you give me them. I don't know, my brain's kind of melted. I'm gonna be so real. Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any more. Driver Squid, hi! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome into the research participation pool. Hi! Favorite drink? Oh, good question. Favorite drink? Drink as in soft drink or alcoholic drink? The fact that it's easier for me to think of alcoholic is concerning. favorite alcoholic drink is spicy margarita. Favorite non-alcoholic drink is tea, I think. Just normal black tea with a bit of oat milk. No sugars, please. Yes. I'm also quite partial to boba. And also coffee. my coffee order is just oat latte. I'm very boring. Are you having a good day? I am, thank you. I'm a bit tired, but I am having a pretty good day. What's your favorite organ of the endocrine system? Pancreas. Is pancreas in the endocrine system? I just said it, and then I realized I don't know if that's correct. Adapt my question into the form. I'll leave it for later. Excellent. I'll come back to that next time. How do I trick my brain into liking studying after not getting distracted every minute or not getting tired after an hour? So with distractions, you need to physically remove those distractions from your environment. So for example, if you find yourself like trying to study and then you're like checking your phone, you need to take your phone away. You need to just put it somewhere, put it in a different room. What I find also is really helpful is to have an environment that is the place that you have for studying. So if you can't one of the things that I always used to do is I would literally just like put up like a blanket basically like around, like I would put up a blanket in a certain place and then like I'm like, oh, that's my studying background. And then I'm like in the mood to study, like or like have a little ritual when you start to get you into the mood for it. Yeah. That's that. But yeah, if you're like getting distracted by things like your phone, literally put your phone in the other room. Like literally just put it away. If you're using your PC and you keep finding yourself going on social media, get something like Leech Block that stops you from going on it. Like put the barriers in place to stop the distractions. And then aside from that, don't be too harsh on yourself. Use something like the Pomodoro method. And kind of like build up. So start by just being like, okay, there's this one small task I'm going to do, and I'm just going to try and do that. And then you just do it for as long as you can, but set yourself a goal of like 15 minutes or something. And if you go over the 15 minutes, great, keep doing it. If you but make sure that you, like, if you're at the beginning, make sure you're giving yourself breaks. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Yeah. Do you prefer crepes or pancakes? I don't really know the difference. Pancreas is endocrine. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I feel valid. I feel validated. Margaritas go hard. They do, right? They do. Having a separate office has been a game changer for work from home. I'm so jealous. I want a separate office so much. My dad made me get a sofa. Now I've got a sofa for relaxing and that was my medication alarm. There's got another alarm going off. Sorry. I need a separate office so badly, but also I can't afford a bigger place. So I'm stuck with my one bed. The solution isn't just have more willpower. Make sure that the thing you want to do easier to do. Exactly. Make the thing you want to do easier to do and make the thing that you don't want to do harder to do. That is the fundamental of human behavior. I recommend logging out of your social media and only accessing them through incognito mode. Then you'll have to log in manually each time. Yes. So what I do personally, I don't have the Twitter app on my phone because I know that if I have it, then I'll be constantly replying to the notifications. The only social media apps that I have on my phone, like the actual apps themselves, I think I just have Discord and Instagram because like I use those to actually talk to people. Everything else, I just don't have it as an app. Like I just don't have it. So I access it all through the browser. Yeah. I use separate desktops for work study stuff versus fun stuff. I have the same PC, but I have different logins. So I have like my work login, which is my, name. And then I have my Psydere login, which is for streaming and gaming. Yeah, and art. Those are, I have two separate ones too. But on the same PC. Gamifying studying really helped my cousin when learning Japanese. Yeah, if you can gamify, that's really helpful to do. Yeah. The only place I have for studying is the dorm hall where everyone drinks and talks loudly. You don't have a library or anything? If you're a student, you should have a library or a study space or something, surely. Even if you have to walk, like the process of walking to a separate place to go and work is also really helpful. I'm saying this as someone who works from home, right? one of the things that I do, so to be honest, in the mornings I always wake up and I'm just like ready to go, so I just jump straight into work. But I tend to start like dipping in the afternoon. So every lunch before I eat my lunch, I go out for a walk, and then after I've finished work, I also go out for a walk, and it's like really good. Like it's like a ritual. It helps to reset your brain. Yeah. Hi Khalifa. Hi. Am I late? Yes, I'm finishing up. You made it though, which is the most important thing. No medication ASMR. My medication's on the other side of the room and I don't want to get up and get it right now. Because then I'll just stand up and go get it and then I'll bring it back and then I'll end the stream and I'll be like, I could have done that after. The library's closed for renovations and I'm not part of an institute, so I only have access to the library one. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. What about like cafes and stuff? I used to go study in cafes. Because like when I was in my first year of uni, I didn't live on campus. I commuted. So I would study in cafes where I lived. Going to a cafe or a library helps because it feels meaningless to waste time. That yeah, right? If I'm like, I'm paying a whole like $3.50 for a coffee, I am making sure that I get my money worth. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking, um, 350 mentioned. Why did I know you were going to say that? What is this? Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Let's see. I'm scrolling. Okay. Interesting. I don't know, and I'm afraid to ask by this point. It's you! It's your thing! Why are you like this? Hi, Chef Denix. Hi. Thank you for the lab safety racer check-in. Hello, hello. Quick question. My friends and I consider traveling to Ireland and the UK in the summer. What are your tips to try? Greg's. Greg's. I will think about that. Because I need to know like where you're thinking of going. So yeah, we can you're in the Discord server, right? Yeah, you are. I think yeah. I'll have a think about it and I will let you know. And we will talk about it. Yeah. Literal meme MLM scheme. Hi, Robot Super. Hi, congrats on the checkmark. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Cool. I'll ping you about that then. I'll have a because I need to know where you're thinking of going. Like that makes a big difference in what I suggest. So don't out me as a poser to the tree fitty community. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe you're a poser. Shaking my SMH. Truly shocking. Truly shocking. Right. What are we feeling today? What are we feeling today? I kind of want to go raid Tofu. Is Greg's the only worthy thing there? I'm finally visiting my family in Wales and I was wondering that. In Wales, potentially. I mean, Wales has nice castles and nice landscapes, but I don't know. Wales is the place in the UK that has like the least impact on me, you know? Like it's very very nice castles, very nice hills, like nice landscapes, but the towns, like the cities, I don't know. They just didn't really have much of an impact on me. I don't really remember what's there. I think I went to some kind of Doctor Who experience or something when I was younger. I'm not sure. Don't know. But you go to Greg's. As the unofficial Greg's ambassador. I approve. One day I still not come online, and that's how you know they got me. I'm buried by tree 50 feet underground. The Doctor Who experience. Rest in peace, the Ianto shrine. I know, right? Is that me saying that right? Ianto? I don't even remember. I don't know. Wales is very important. It has a port to leave the UK. This is true. It does. And they have a cool language. The language is cool. The only Welsh that I remember was I saw it on a sign and it said traffic firm and it meant farm traffic. And I just found that really funny because it was like, it didn't look, it looks like Elden Ring language, let's be honest. I don't know why that stuck with me. And the accents are cool. This is true. They do have really nice accents. This is very true. But it is my, that like, if I had to like rank the UK nations by how much of an impact they have had on my life, Wales would be at the bottom. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hi, Mantis. Hi. How are you doing? How are you doing? Congrats on the partner, Dr. Derry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the Greg's vegan review. This is the most important content. This is the most important content that everybody wants. Even below Cornwall. I mean, the southwest of England, I've been there quite a few times, like on holidays and stuff. And yeah, it's had more of an impact on me than Wales. Like, because at least I know what I like about the southwest of England. Whereas like Wales, I don't even know. I genuinely can't tell you. I cannot tell you. I mean, I might have more to report later in the year because I may or may not be going to Wales, but you know, who knows? I like watching Amelie switching the game to Welsh and then getting trapped, even though the menus were in Welsh and she could read nothing. I think that clip was Scottish, wasn't it? I thought she swapped it to Scottish Gaelic. Because I'm pretty sure it was Scottish Gaelic. I think I recognized like 2 words and I was like, oh, I can read. Wow. Didn't know what it meant. She's done Scottish and Welsh. Oh, I see. I see. I saw the clip with Scottish, I think. Tommy Bella Mama says hi. She was confused by me saying Happy Mother's Day. We're lunching. Hi, Tommy Bella Mama. Tell her I said hi back. It's really funny that the majority of all vegans I know are VTubers. That is really funny. I know quite a lot of vegans in real life. So, yeah. But I do know a fair number of vegan VTubers also. Yeah. I love seeing the resurgence of all the languages the English tried to kill. Me too. Me too. It makes me happy. Somehow I live in Brooklyn and I don't know any vegans. That's wild. That's actually impressive. I don't believe the propaganda. I live in Ireland, which is meant to be like terrible. It's not that bad actually, but you know, it's meant to be pretty bad. And I know vegans, you know, like in real life that I interact with sometimes. Recommend the north of Wales, just avoid Holyhead. I see. All it has is the ferry port. I see. Yeah, see, I think I've been to the south. So I've been to the south and I've been to the valleys. And like the valleys, they were sad. It was the south bit of the valleys. Very, how can I describe this? Very, yeah, it was just, it was sad. They didn't have much going on there. And then like I've been to like Cardiff and Swansea and neither of them really, like I said, neither of them had an impact. I would love to go to like Wrexham one day because I know so many people that are like from Wrexham that are really cool. So that means that the place must be cool. It probably isn't, but I will go there anyway one day. I spent a month in Japan and Tokyo and Kyoto are more vegan friendly than Brooklyn. Okay, that actually doesn't surprise me. Because I've heard that, like Kyoto especially, I've heard that Kyoto has like a really, really strong vegan scene. But Tokyo is just a massive city with lots of diverse food options. They really like the diverse food options there. But Brooklyn, I don't know. I like everyone that When I met up with some of my friends on Friday, they were telling me that they went through America when like while they were flying somewhere, and they were like at one of the airports, like one of the massive airports, and they went to 18 different restaurants and couldn't find a single vegetarian option, let alone vegan. So yeah, there's a huge amount of Welsh speakers in the north. You hear Welsh more than English. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm gonna destroy the name of that place. I'm not gonna say that out loud. I will say it wrong and it will be embarrassing. I'm going to look up. Ooh, castle. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. Wales has so many. She hates the English. I don't know how to respond to this. I do not know how to respond to this. A lot of people think that America's uniquely vegan friendly, and it's super weird to me. Americans are the second most meat eating country on the planet after Mongolia. Yeah, so literally the only places where I would expect to be able to eat vegan food relatively easily would be like Bay Area in California and Portland in Oregon. Those are the only places where I would go to them and I would expect to be able to easily find vegan food. Maybe Los Angeles. Those are the only places. Everywhere else, I would assume that I will be eating nothing but like salad and chips. And even then, the chips are probably cooked in beef fat. Like, that would be my assumption. I've never been to the US and banned, so can't go there yet. Psydere might be edible. I'm not edible. Please don't, actually. I don't approve of this. Hi, Chaka. Hi. Thank you for the lab safety racial check-in. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. And Sloppy Cracker as well. Hi. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. When you're playing Jump King again, I mean, I can put it on the list. If you want to see me suffer, I can put it on the list to play it again. It will. I need you to understand it will be another 3 hours of no progress. Because I have not been practicing. I should practice. I should play it. I'll play some of that today. I won't. Oh dear. Oh, you're vegan? I'll make you a grilled cheese. I mean, you're joking, but like I have a cow's milk allergy, so you would kill me. How do you feel now? The other day I went to go and get some food and they were like making my food and then they accidentally got loads of cheese in it. And then I was like, oh, could you not? I've ordered it vegan. And then they like just tried to pick it out, but it was shredded cheese and it got really embedded into the food. And I was like, I'm gonna die. This is not a good idea. Can you remake it, please? Stop! I know I have to take my meds. And then they were like, okay, fine. And then they gave me less food and I was really sad. Yeah. Yeah. Being in Turkey also seems hard. I think it might be okay. It might be okay. But you have, I mean, I think it would be hard. No, I think it might be manageable. I think it might be manageable. A nice hack in America is that Ethiopian cuisine also always has a ton of vegan dishes natively. I'm not gonna lie, like I always go to Ethiopian and Eritrean food places like when I'm traveling because I know it's always gonna be a safe bet. Yeah, it's a good hack. Also, the food is just really good. It's really, really good. Hi, Svidui. Hi. Congrats on partner. Thank you so much. Thank you. Taken out by natural selection. True. I accept my fate. I accept my fate. Why does this keep happening to you? It's always cheese that you didn't ask for. Because I live in Ireland and they put dairy products in friggin' everything here. Like, it's like literally everything. Like, I will, like, I'll go to, like, order something that I think is vegan based on what I see. And then, like, I look at the allergens and it lists milk and it's because they've just put butter in it for no reason. Made your own? Oh. Oh, but I've never made Endura successfully. Every time it messes up. Oh. I would just order it. I'm going to be so real. I don't trust myself to make it. Hi, Zeathos. Hi. You're Irish? No, I'm not. I'm English, unfortunately. I'm British. But I live on the island. Yeah. The worst place for vegan food I've ever been, the Bay Area. Really? Well, I guess it's literally just Portland then. All we've got is Portland. Lies, she lives in fear. I don't. I do not live in fear. I'm powerful. I'd like to remind you of our discussion on medieval times. Their queen demands vegan and celiac disease-friendly meals. Incredible. Incredible. That's a queen that I can stand by. I lost my mind at Off-Kai. Multiple times I ordered vegan labeled stuff and they added cheese because we wanted to be nice. I would just, I'm going to be so real. I would just tell them up. Like, I think, normally here, well, okay, normally, so I kind of vary. Sometimes I tell them and sometimes I don't about the dairy allergy. I feel like if I was in the US, I would hammer it home. I would be like, I have a cow's milk allergy. No cheese. No cheese. And I feel like that's the only way that I would even begin to be safe. Yeah. It's got to be a pain. Apologies for all the times I've picked on you. It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it. I've been vegan for 15 years, so I've heard all of the jokes. I've heard all of the bullying. Yeah. I've heard it all. None of it is new to me. Okay, so I am actually very, very tired. So I think with that, it might be time to wrap up. If you want to submit a question, you can, and we'll come back to it another Sunday. Yes, yes. Yeah. 1 year longer than me, I bow. Yeah, today, this year was actually, I think like a couple of weeks ago was like my 15-year anniversary, which is a bit wacky. I've been vegan for half of my life. Yeah. But 14 years is equally super impressive. I'm not a fan of the taste, and somehow I get cheese and stuff weirdly often, but by coincidence, someone before me has the same order with cheese, and then we get mixed up, and it happens suspiciously often. I would fight them. I would fight them. Okay, so raid message 1. The top one is if you're a sub. The bottom one is if you are not a sub. Sub as in subscriber. We are going to go and raid into Tofu, Tiny Toxic Tofu, my beloved. I love Tofu so much. She is a physics lecturer. She's really cool. I love her so much. She's like also an ambassador. And she is my she's one of my many Twitch psychomoshis. So please be nice. It looks like she's playing the Dyson Sphere program, which is incredibly fun. Yeah. So that's where we're going. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I always enjoy hanging out. Next stream tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. UTC. There has been no time change where I am yet. So it's still UTC. Adjust your calendar accordingly. Yes, yes. And then I think on Tuesday we're gonna be doing. I don't know. I might pull together a silly little St. Patrick's Day presentation or something. I don't know. Just like cultural observations from living here for like many, many years. I don't know. I'll see how I feel on the day. Well, I am working though, so it depends on whether I have time to do it. Notions lecture. Oh, but I don't have notions. I'm like exempt from notions because I'm posh and British. Like, well, I sound posh and British, so I'm like exempt. Like my existence is notions. I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. What else is happening next week? I don't know. Probably Sunday or so. We're raiding out now. Thank you everybody for joining. Goodbye. Thank you.